And I want to compliment the people of Pakistan on their leadership, the Prime Minister and the Field Marshal are great people. They're close to Iran and they're trying to work something out. And I think they're being very successful at doing it.
And that's President Trump with me in my exclusive interview yesterday, thanking Pakistani leadership for helping to facilitate negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. Pakistan is pushing to host another round of talks between the U.S. and Iran. Could happen in the coming days. Talks are ongoing. Pakistan's prime minister traveling to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Turkey for a 4-day diplomatic tour, urging other leaders to remain engaged with the United States and Tehran. And joining me now to get ahead of that is the finance minister of Pakistan, Mohammad Aurangzeb, joining us right now. And Minister, it's good to have you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. I know that it's your prime minister leading these talks, of course, bringing the countries together. But what can you tell us about the sentiment that you have seen between Iran and the United States?
I think I would thank you, Maria. In the first instance, I would like to express gratitude for the confidence that is being reposed in Pakistan by United States and Iran, and of course the international community. And I genuinely believe that this as a result of mutual trust and confidence that the U.S. administration and Iran administration have in our leadership. Now that puts us, quite frankly, in a role of huge responsibility to move things forward with earnestness and with honesty. And all I can say that at this point in time, our leadership is at it. As you rightly pointed out in your intro, that the Prime Minister is doing a whirlwind trip to many countries, and our Chief of Defense Forces is in Tehran. And the fact that the ceasefire is intact gives us all hope and confidence that a real chance to diplomacy is being given as we speak. I
mean, what do you think comes out of these meetings with your prime minister and these other countries? Why was that important, Qatar and these other Gulf nations?
I think it's important that we bring everyone together, is properly syndicated, because as you can imagine, there are a number of stakeholders here. And I think that's where these efforts are underway, that by the time we do get to a second round, and let's all hope we do get to a second round, that it's well syndicated with all the key partners which are involved at this point in time.
What has been the impact on the Pakistani economy as a result of this war so far?
Yeah, Maria, that's a very good question. I mean, we are now sort of seventh week into this warlike situation. So what Pakistan is dealing with at this point in time is the first order impact. The procurement of molecules, the pricing, the logistics, how we do the price transmission to cut down on demand and moving towards targeted subsidies, etc. So at this point in time, the main focus has been to keep the supply chain going. Now, second order, third order impact in terms of what happens to inflation, growth, etc., will be a direct function of the duration and the intensity of the conflict.
Yeah. The president yesterday told me this conflict is close to over. Do you believe that to be true?
Well, as I said, our leadership is at it. And I said we express our gratitude to everyone who allowing our leadership to take this move forward and take it through the finishing line. But as you know better than anyone else, that it's not done till it's done. But the reality is, it's not only about Pakistan, it's not only about the region, the entire world at this point in time. And because the energy infrastructure has been hit, even if the secession, and when the secession happens, it might take weeks, not months or even years, to get back to normalcy.
Yeah. Obviously, you and many others are here this week in Washington for the IMF spring meetings. I am also here for that, and I'll be moderating the plenary session today for the IMF spring meetings. The IMF just lowered Pakistan's growth forecast for the fiscal year 2027. They're lowering that growth number to 3.5%. That's a good number, still 3.5%. But how do you see that 3.5% playing out. Where is the growth in Pakistan right now? I know you're also weighing purchases of liquefied natural gas on the spot market while boosting domestic supply of oil. What can you tell us in terms of purchases there and where the growth is right now in Pakistan?
Yeah, I think from our perspective, at this point in time, the supply chain is intact. Some of our local gas fields are now firing on all cylinders. Fortunately, in addition to petroleum, on fertilizer side, we are in a good place because that's another big issue for a number of countries in terms of food security. March numbers have come out to be pretty good. We have a current account surplus, remittances are up. So as of now, this fiscal year, and fiscal year for us, Maria, is from July 1 to June 30th, we are still expecting growth of around 4% for this fiscal year. Now, what happens next fiscal year, that is, as I said, is a function of inflation, growth, elasticities around remittances, exports, overall current account balance of payment situation. But right now, as of June end, we are very clear we are going to meet our fiscal targets and also our external reserves, which are now going to be close to 3 months of import cover. So far, so good.
No.
It's all a function of the duration and intensity.
Of course, but very good. However, you've also needed or have received money. You've secured the $3 billion in financial support from Saudi Arabia as a way to shore up the foreign exchange reserves. Tell me about that, because there's also that's offsetting a loan repayment to the United Arab Emirates. And we want to hear more about this because the Saudis have committed additional money and disbursement expected in the coming week, right?
Yeah. So first of all, we repaid our Eurobond payment, which was due of about $1.4 billion last week. We are very committed. You know, as a former banker, creditor, borrower, as a responsible borrower, when the maturities are there, we have to pay on time. So we are very grateful to the very timely and gracious support which has come from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at this point in time. And that is certainly going to help. But at the same time, we're also looking at commercial aspects in terms of going into the international capital markets. We are very hopeful to issue our inaugural PADA bond by end of this month, also going into Eurobond and looking at other commercial aspects as well to ensure that our FX reserves remain at a good place.
Mohammed, thank you for your leadership. You are in the middle of this incredible conflict right now, trying to bring the sides together. And we appreciate all that you have said about the backdrop in Pakistan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Minister Mohammed Aurangzeb joining us here on set. Stay with us. We'll be right back.